This is not a great film.
No, I was expecting a bit better.
No, this film deserves to stay in the 90s.
The Writers Guild of America.
Would you recommend this film to people?
Probably not, no.
Anybody?
No.
Even tragics?
No.
People you don't like? You wouldn't even do
I
it
don't
to
do
people.
that.
You wouldn't even send this to a person you didn't like.
The Writers Guild of America.
You made me watch this, but you wouldn't even send it to... Yes.
It's number 35 in their top screenplays.
Really?
Of all time.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it must be good.
It's interesting. Quite often...
And it won Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. And I thought, it's going to be awesome.
Yes, but you've been doing
so
this...
many holes in it.
You've been doing this for a year now, haven't you, nearly? Very nearly. We're just about up to the 52 mark. Mm-hmm. Now, I think it's fair to say that we've both seen examples of something that's absolutely rubbish and it's been held up as some sort of triumph of some particular aspect of filmmaking.
I know. I find that weird.
Midnight Run comes quickly to mind.
Oh, no.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people out there...
Look, there's parts of it that I
cannot
find...
separate nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people who are sitting there going, oh, no, this was a great film. I remember this. It had so many good aspects to it. It was really comes together in the end. Hang on, let me finish. I think they did lines of coke while they were watching that in the 90s. This is my point.
That's not true. Everyone has a bit of nostalgia when it comes to this sort of thing.
I
You do.
do
I'm
not
pointing
have
in your direction.
I do not have nostalgia for this film. That's
No.
not true.
I didn't say this film. I said films that you'd watched as a young person.
Absolutely.
That's what I meant. So
Beast of War. But you know what? I had the common sense to be able to say, I loved it and I love it. But it's not a great film, and I gave it a 6.5. To which I still think it holds, after a year, and we've seen all these other films come and go, I still think that's a good mark, because it's not a bad film, and it still holds up, but it's got some issues, like the music and a few other bits and pieces. But on the whole, it's a good film. Now, Beast of War had Stephen Baldwin in it, and Stephen Baldwin's in this.
Yep.
So, tell me, what did you think of Stephen Baldwin's performance compared to this?
It was all right in this.
You did. I was kind of rather nonplussed by his performance in this.
That's what I mean. It's all right. It didn't make me go, oh my gosh, it's Stephen Baldwin. No, it didn't make me do that.
Nobody says that.
No.
Oh, Stephen Baldwin. Oh.
No, I didn't.
Pass me the chips, would you, love? You know.
That's what I mean. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't much of a muchness.
No.
That's what I mean. They could have. I mean, I liked Kevin Spacey's character in this, but otherwise everyone else was sort of just, you know.
Now, I'm going to come out and be honest here.
Yes.
I had a great deal of trouble watching this film. Now, to the point that I fell asleep. Not once, but 3 times. I had 3 goes at this film, and I gave up. I got halfway through it, and I got bits and pieces of it, but it kept putting me to sleep. So, if you've got a stressful life or anything like that, and you're finding it difficult to
sleeping.
I hardly recommend this for you, because this is as good as watching, politics on TV, like Parliamentary Question Hour, because I just found it was awful. The whole show, like, it just smacked of Columbo. You know what I mean? Like, it was. Well, the production values were at television level. It was not a film.
It looked B grade.
It looked very B grade. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I can't come at. He may have had moments of brilliance as Kevin Spacey when you were watching it, but I was clearly asleep at those times. Because the other times, his performance, as was everybody else's, put me to sleep. And I'm sorry, I wasn't even particularly tired at the time. But I'd snuggled up under the blanket, I had my food and everything like that. And before I know it, like 30 minutes in, bang, gone, done.
You didn't even get to 30 minutes. You're telling me what part you're up to, and I think it was only 15 or 20-minute mark.
I rest my case. I'm sorry. I tried 3 times to do this. And I got to the end and went and said, you know what, I'll just ask Pip what it was about at the end. And I saw bits in the middle and I saw bits at the end. Like, I sat down and watched the last 15 minutes as well. And I couldn't care less. Like, it just did not drag me in or interest me in any way, shape or form at any point.
I think the problem was last week we watched The Hateful Eight, which to me... No. What I'm saying is it had all the little Easter eggs for you, all the, workout things, where this one, it did have it, but Probably not as much.
You've got to
have
be
work
conscious
hard
to
or
get
anything.
to it. That's the
It
problem.
wasn't as interesting. It didn't hold you in suspense or anything. It had no suspense throughout
Pip,
the
it didn't
film.
hold your consciousness. You got to keep, if you're going to put a film together, people have got to be able to get through the plot and stay awake.
Paul,
There's not much point.
Paul,
I've seen bowling tournaments more in.
Paul,
Yes.
Well, how many stars do you give
3.
it? 3.
3. And I think I'm being generous because, on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I got a third of the way through the film. So I'm giving a point for each part of the film that I got to see.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 5.
I think, well, you saw the whole thing,
I
so
saw the
sure.
whole thing.
Yeah, but
and there's parts of it I did like, but
I just
most of it,
gave up. I honestly, Pip, I'm sorry everyone for being so slack-assed, but it wasn't my fault. It was just tedious.
If you want to see like a slightly detective thriller suspenseful film,
it is very much that.
Hateful Eight will be better than the usual
So
suspects.
many better examples of watching something. Just don't waste your time, people. Just that's my takeaway from this. And Pip watched the whole thing, and go Pip, but her takeaway is exactly the same.
So that's 3 stars from Paul and 5 stars from me for the usual suspects.
It's a don't bother. You know what? I just had an idea then. I think next week I'm going to go away and make some little kind of like thumbs up or thumbs down sounds for our little soundboard.
Oh, don't.
Make it really tacky.
Oh, no. Don't do that. Gosh. Talking about B grade. Jeez.
All right.
So, Paul, your magic movie moment.
Well, I just wanted to get the taste out of that film. It was awful. It really was. Now, I've gone for something, Scent of the Woman, Al Pacino. I told you there's a few Al Pacinos, and this is his closing arguments. I haven't seen Scent of a Woman yet. No, I haven't. I know he's blind. I've seen bits and pieces of it where he does the dance, the tango dance, because that comes up again and again. And also, geez, he can bung it on. But I think some people would say, yes, he does, way too much. People who like subtle acting, I think Al Pacino's not on their top 10 because he doesn't do anything, he's a bit like me. He doesn't do things, subtly and serenely. He's not a Judi Dench. Imagine if you get Judi Dench and Al Pacino into some weird sort of scientific experiment and put them in the fly machine and meld them together.
Where's your brain at today? Gee.
Judy Pacino.
Anyway, so your magic movie moment is Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman.
That's it.
Is that correct?
That is
Through all that rubbish?
It is. Very much so.
Mr. Sims, you are a cover-up artist and you are a liar.
But not a snitch.
Excuse me?
No, I don't think I will.
Mr. Slade.
This is such a crock of shit.
Please watch your language, Mr. Slade. You are in the Baird School, not a barracks. Mr. Sims, I will give you one final opportunity to speak up.
Mr. Sims doesn't want it. He doesn't need to be labeled still worthy of being a Baird man. What the hell is that? What is your motto here? Boys, inform on your classmates, save your hide. Anything short of that, we're going to burn you at the stake? Well, gentlemen, when the shit hits the fan, some guys run and some guys stay. Here's Charlie facing the fire, and there's George hiding in Big Daddy's pocket. And what are you doing? You're going to reward George and destroy Charlie.
Are you finished, Mr. Slade?
No, I'm just getting warmed up. I don't know who went to this place. William Howard Taft, William Jennings Bryan, William Tell, whoever. Their spirit is dead, if they ever had one. It's gone. You're building a rat ship here. A vessel for seagoing snitches. And if you think you're preparing these minnows for manhood, you better think again. Because I say you are killing the very spirit this institution proclaims it instills. What a sham. What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today? I mean, the only class in this act is sitting next to me, and I'm here to tell you, this boy's soul is intact. It's non-negotiable. You know how I know? Someone here, and I'm not going to say who, offered to buy it. Only Charlie here wasn't selling.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order? I show you out of order. You don't know what out of order is, Mr. Trask. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place. Out of order. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? I've been around, you know. There was a time I could see, and I have seen, boys like these, younger than these, their arms torn out, their legs ripped off. But there is nothing like the sight of an amputated spirit. There is no prosthetic for that. You think you're merely sending this splendid foot soldier back home to Argonne with his tail between his legs, but I say you are executing his soul. And why? Because he's not a bad man. Bad men. You hurt this boy, you're gonna be bad bums, the lot of you. And Harry, Jimmy, Trent, wherever you are out there, fuck you too.
Stand down, Mr. Slade.
I'm not finished. As I came in here, I heard those words, cradle of leadership. Well, when the bow breaks, the cradle will fall, and it has fallen here. It has fallen. Makers of men, creators of leaders, be careful what kind of leaders you're producing here. I don't know if Charlie's silence here today is right or wrong. I'm not a judge or jury, but I can tell you this. He won't sell anybody out to buy his future. And that, my friends, is called integrity. That's called courage. Now, that's the stuff leaders should be made of. Now, I have come to the crossroads in my life. I always knew what the right path was. Without exception, I knew. But I never took it. You know why? It was too damn hard. Now here's Charlie. He's come to the crossroads. He has chosen a path. It's the right path. It's a path made of principle that leads to character. Let him continue on his journey. You hold this boy's future in your hands, committee. It's a valuable future. Believe me.
And I do, because it's you, Al Pacino.
Gosh, that felt longer than 4 minutes.
It did a bit, didn't it? Like
I just kept going.
It was only 4 minutes.
It felt a lot longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Won't be putting that film up.
Scent of a Woman.
Talking about falling asleep.
Oh, yeah.
You can put it up.
I thought apparently it's.
Voice went up.
Listen, just because you're in a bad mood doesn't mean to say you can take it out on me.
I'm in a great mood today.
You are not.
I am. I'm having fun.
You are having fun now? At my expense.
And loving it.
Okay, the next movie we're about to do is... You got the book?
Oh, The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Which I put up.
That Paul put up.
Yep, so here we go.
I'm a AAA rated executive protection agent. And you're the most wanted hitman in the world. My job is to keep you out of harm's way.
Shit! What the fuck?
And
You will last 1 hour without me. Fuck you! Eat my ass! That's what she said!
Suspects are on the roof.
No odds in that jump. Just gotta find a more intelligent way. No, motherfucker! Holy fucking shit.
I hope they kill him, I really do. This guy single-handedly ruined the word motherfucker.
Tick-tock, motherfucker!
I was up here.
damn it!
I will bust a cap in your ass.
Have you